Let's jump to another one. Alan,
Let's talk. Yeah.
you're from Argentina.
Yes.
Right. You live here in Spain since quite a while now.
Mhm.
I'm from Germany.
Yeah.
Do you think I could sell with my German style to an Argentinian?
The answer would be yes. There are some nuances, and I think that this is like transversal to every single cultural gap or region. That means that for sure an Argentinian guy would prefer another Argentinian, a Brazilian another Brazilian, a German another German, and that's why territories are made.
Yeah.
You are tackling the DACH region, and
Yeah.
that makes more sense than tackling the APAC region
Absolutely.
or the US region, and so on and so forth. That doesn't mean that we cannot sell into different markets, but there are things that we need to understand. There are cultural changes, way of selling, way of speaking, way of understanding the evolution of whatever the solution that we're tackling. And that's the first answer that I have on top of different frameworks that I have as an idea and stats
Yeah.
about sales.
We can sell to everyone,
Yeah.
but the success rate might differ
Yeah.
between me selling into a region where I'm not that familiar with
Yeah.
and maybe not even understand their behavior or the culture, right?
Correct.
So, for example, in the DACH market, let's say Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, for them, the most important topics before we get to, if the solution is actually able to,
I would guess.
to be used is, okay, do you have this ISO certification?
GDPR and
is it
certification.
Is this GDPR compliant, what you're here doing?
You are so polite and so
Yeah.
correct, man.
So it's like, if you are not really have the checklist done,
exactly.
it will be difficult.
in all the processes.
It will be difficult to, getting to the next steps.
Correct.
And then, of course, after you have potentially convinced the buyer, the deal is not done.
No.
You still have to go through the procurement department,
Legal stuff.
and finding like a mutual legal jurisdiction.
Yeah.
I lost a deal because one of our potential buyers didn't want to accept the German law as
Yeah.
jurisdiction
Yeah, in the contract.
in the contract.
And that was a must for them.
And that was
basically.
then they said, okay, maybe we can find a common ground.
Yeah.
And which country is the most common ground? They wanted to go with Switzerland.
Yeah, it's the same as them.
Yeah, so they said, okay, let's go with Switzerland. We didn't accept Switzerland. I lost the 7K deal.
Exactly.
So it's for them, it's really important, like certain structures in the sales conversations. If you are too pushy,
Yeah, politeness, not
Yeah.
being aggressive
if you're too aggressive, they close the doors.
automatically.
If you send them 10 emails or give them 100 cold calls, they will potentially send you a letter from a lawyer because it's too aggressive.
So would you say that if you want to sell in one market or the other, or depending on your company that you're working with, would you say that it's possible, we agreed on that it's possible that you can sell to
Yeah.
different markets if you have at least the language barrier in,
Yeah.
right? But it's more important the sales skills or understanding the behavior of that people in that market.
I think understanding the behavior of those people in the market.
So how they think, how
Yeah.
they operate, how they move.
Like if you're a fantastic seller from the US
Mhm.
and you want to sell to a Japanese,
Yeah.
I think it's really tough.
And I have my point of view with that question as well.
So yeah, tell me, please. Tell me your point of view.
So I think that they are both connected. If you are really good at sales
Yeah.
and you have a really understanding of the skill set, or you have the skill set needed in order to perform in high complex deals in different regions or markets, this is not only hard skills,
Yeah.
but also soft skills, that it's understanding how you think, how you operate, how you move in certain environment, then you will be able. But it's a big chunk of the deal,
Yeah.
right? Understanding that, and let me put this into territories or regions. Selling to US, I learned this from a former university teacher that I had. And I think that was one of the most interesting things that I learned related sales, right? And he told me, hey, if you're selling to the US, time is money. And that's a real thing.
Speed matters.
Speed, resolution, and if not, no hard feelings. If you cannot help me and I cannot give you anything,
Yeah.
just shake hands and go away.
Yeah.
That's it. Don't take it personal. I took it personal for a long time being a Latin guy.
Yeah.
That if you say no to me after 1.5 minutes of speaking, you are, what the hell?
Yeah. Why are you so rude?
Why are you so rude? Let's give some kisses and some hugs here first, and then we can see if this works. Then if you go to Latin America is all about relationships.
Yeah.
And even more, I will tell you, like the deal happens outside of the deal, meaning we need to go out, we need to get drunk,
Yeah.
I think that this goes all over the cultures,
Yeah,
right? As
yeah.
well. But we need to get drunk. I need to get to know your dog, your family. If the weather is good in your city, talk anything besides sales.
Yeah.
And then when I feel that I trust you or whatever it's developed there, we jump into sales. The other way, Europe, APAC, Japan, trust, confidence, excellence, even the difference between Europe, US, Latin America, we have this culture in West countries that is like the younger generation is coming with new and fresh ideas. And the older, my dad, he's 71 years old, he knows nothing.
Yeah.
In Japan, in this kind of countries, older people is wisdom, right? It's respect. If you understand this, you understand how to crack the code of selling.
I think the biggest, the complicated part actually is inside of the European Union, because there's so many countries and everyone has their own
culture, their own way of doing, their own regulations, their own.
For example, if you sell to France and you don't speak the language,
you're screwed.
It's almost impossible.
It's almost impossible.
And if they, for example, if you want to sell to them directly, but they work with partners, so you need to convince the partner to get you into this to this company, right? If you don't have your marketing material in their local language, you're missing part of the game.
Yeah.
So it's really important in France, for example, to have someone who speaks the language, and I think it's for many other countries inside of Europe, Spain, Italy, exactly the same. Germany as well, they prefer it as well. Except I would say Nordics.
Yeah, they're
Nordics,
open.
Yeah, you can speak English, and everyone speaks English there.
Exactly. And they speak really good.
Yeah, so the only part which is important there in the Nordics, everyone is allowed to say something.
Yeah.
So everyone has
their own point of view and perspective.
Everyone is allowed to say something and bring the point in. So there are multiple people you should involve in their conversation. So that's the difficult part, right?
Yeah.
Every single country in the European Union has their nuances how they want to be sold to.
Sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's the interesting part, and what I like as well in sales, right?
It's beautiful,
because
man. It's not 1 + 1 is 2.
Yeah, you need to really understand the psychology, the way how you need to sell, and it's interesting because many people, when they hear sales, they say, "Oh my God,
this guy is going to scam me."
This guy who tried to call me and sell the phone contract."
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
That's the problem. It's not that case. So it's really a strategic way. If you are in tech sales, how to convince the potential buyer on that side.
What would be the 3 skills for a seller to develop right now in order to become a global top performer?
Oof, that's a good
3
question.
words.
Yeah. Being resistant. Is it
resilience?
Resilience.
Resilient could be.
To be resilient. To be hardworking.
Okay. Those are more personality traits.
Yeah,
right?
more personality.
But let's do it.
Yeah.
The 3, I can give you the skills. So let's go back. So the 3 personality traits.
So the 3 personality traits
that you must develop.
Yeah.
By practice or learning.
Yeah. Hardworking.
To become a top seller.
Being resilient. And connect the dots. It's really important.
Okay.
Connecting
smart analysis.
But let's say better listener.
Active listener.
Active listener.
Okay, so basically, again,
resilient, active listener, and hardworking.
Okay.
And you, Alan, what are the 3 skills top performer should have?
Definitely objection handling.
Good one.
100% objection handling. Understand when they are saying something to you, what does really mean, and not just reading between lines and handling that potential objection. The second is negotiation, meaning trying to be as good as possible when communicating.
Yeah.
And there are techniques to do this: mirroring technique, matching techniques, even pause, the pause technique, even the no technique.
Really powerful.
There are really different ways of using strategies to be a good negotiator and make them feel that what you're saying makes sense. And lastly, if we can connect the personality trait, active listening, to a skill as well, because I think that it's something that you develop over time.
Yeah.
It's basically being conscious that you need to, whenever the conversation goes, besides the specific nuances, you need to listen more than you talk.
Yeah.
And meaning understanding what they are telling you, so you use that information to negotiate better, to handle objections better. So it's a kind of a combination of three.
Now, can you repeat that in 30 seconds?
Yeah, absolutely. I love this. I love these checkpoints.
Yeah, because sometimes,
a lot of information.
I catch myself quite often in certain podcasts where they explain something and I forgot what they actually said. So if we put it in 30 seconds, then it's repeating it and it gets back into the brain.
What should I repeat? What's the question there?
Top 3 skills a top performer should have in 2026.
Negotiation skills, active listening skills, and most important, objection handling skills.
Perfect.